We got a lot going on.
Yeah.
We got too much going on. We got a winner for the tickets. Yep, we sure do. Somebody
Charles
called in.
Jones.
Yep, Mr. Brother Charles Jones called in. He got them tickets. He was
Shout out
like
to
ace on the
Charles.
spot.
Thank
But
you for the water too.
oh yeah, you so welcome. But we got
Mine over here.
we got what do we call
Pick the
you?
call.
Charlie Khan.
Oh, Charlie.
Charlie.
Charlie
Charlie
Khan.
Alley Khan.
Not Ali Khan. He
No,
drinking
like
on it.
Alley, but CH, the rap alley, the Fiscal Tech Project, the underdog, they say, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, well you gonna grab a microphone, Mr.
Ali Khan.
Mr. Ali Khan?
I just said it in a nice way for the listeners out there.
That's what's up.
So
I know we don't have a younger crowd, but so I don't have to get too gangster with it, you know.
oh, please don't get gangster after all the stuff that's been going
No,
on.
you can get gangster. You can go ahead and get gangster.
He can get gangster.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
you can
I said some real positive stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, I knew the commissioner before I knew he was the commissioner, before I even knew he was an officer. He knew me personally. I'm not going to get how personally I know him. But he was always a real decent dude. His son, his daughter, his wife, beautiful family.
Right.
I mean, I'm talking about going back 25 years ago. I never knew, you know what I mean?
Right.
But he did a favor for me.
Mm.
I knew he was decent, you know what I mean?
Okay.
This is way before all this.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, when I seen him, I knew the pressure was on him. You know, I prayed for him because, like, you know, it's a situation where I don't want to see a guy die whether he sold drugs or not. That has nothing to do with it. Some people, just like everybody have had their hand in something, some people get caught up for what they do, and some people don't.
Right.
So I'm not knocking, you know what I mean, that for
Knocking
that. But the only
nobody.
thing is that it was a situation where kids was involved next door, wherever they were.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I wasn't up there. I don't know the situation, even though I know the area
Right.
very well. But you know, things happen. You know,
Right.
but that's why I try to encourage whatever I can do through my what I do and what you do, like what you do. You try to encourage, you know, the acting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I had Film Arts 215, PHILM,
Okay.
ARTS 215,
Okay.
and good brothers like Curtis Jones and
Oh yeah. Shout out to Kurt.
Councilman Hike. They was with the reform as far as education and what we was giving to schools and all.
Mm-hmm.
And we was all in the same campaign as far as like the situation happened with Overbrook. You know,
Okay.
giving kids audio and video. You know,
Right.
there's elementary schools in suburban areas.
Mm-hmm.
They had it. They teach their kids that in elementary.
Oh, I know my
They
son.
get to junior high, they had that stuff.
Yeah.
High school, they have it. They have radio and TV in their
Right.
school. You know,
Right.
not just wood shop and IMC and
My son's
and,
school has a whole
home ec.
television studio downstairs.
right. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that. By the time our kids get a whiff of anything, they're not really interested because they think it's too hard.
Right.
Yeah, that's really where it's at. You see all these nodules and buttons and
I don't know what it
and
is.
wires, and you
I
get
don't
scared. You know what I mean? I just think you might get electrocuted. I don't know. You know, I'm just saying. But you know, you push what you push,
Right.
so that guys don't have to go down that road, even in their adulthood. That's why I have Film Arts 215. It's not a young person's program. I teach young people.
Yeah, I'm about to ask you,
Adults.
who are you? Who are you? What do you do? What is your talk to the folks?
Well, that's what I do. I mean, like, I'm an all-around guy. I am a connoisseur of the arts.
Okay.
If you think I can't paint, I can paint, and then I'll paint something that maybe you ain't gonna expect me to be painting. You know, like, I mean, I'm really good. You know,
Okay.
like, I mean, I'm not tooting my horn, but
No, that's what we're here for. You
and I
know.
have different styles of doing things. I just, and I have my own style, of course, overall. But
Mhm.
I love the arts. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I wanted to do when I was a kid before I, was doing anything. But growing up in Philly, you had to grow up fighting and tough. You know what I mean? It wasn't like how it is now. It's almost like everybody pulling guns, but we was pulling our fists and we was getting it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's old school. You don't see
It
that
was a
no
little
more.
different, especially
You don't
for
see that
small
no
guys.
more.
We short.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
We had to fight our
yeah.
way through a lot.
Yeah, I don't like to tell people. I'm sure. You know what I mean? On the radio, they can't see that. So
That's true. Oh man, I
I
tell
gotta push this
everybody I'm
candy.
5'5".
I gotta push this candy away. I get a little addicted to the candy.
nothing
sweet
wrong with it.
stuff.
That's what it's here for.
You know what I mean? The older I mean, I
Yeah.
just took down about 10 pounds, 15 pounds,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
and I had to really
Watch the candy.
watch the candy.
Okay, because you're doing a
I be
lot of
looking at
touching.
it. I know I be looking at it. See, I ran through 5 that fast. I'm like,
Yeah, it's all good.
It's okay.
He's hungry. I was
It's
good.
all right.
I was good. Call Uber Eats. Get something to eat.
you know what I mean? Plus, I want to go to God concert tonight. I don't want to be too
Yeah,
hyped.
yeah.
I don't want them girls to be like, look at him, he all hype.
Yeah, I forgot they was coming.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You too hype. You might,
Yeah.
you might don't get that ceremony that you wanted to do because
Okay.
you too hype.
Yeah.
Whether you got a woman or you don't, you know, if you go there, you too hype. You know,
you doing too much.
you doing too much.
What?
You know, Charlie always doing something. I'm gonna be so chill there.
Yeah, you always are doing something. Word on the street is you have a warehouse and some stuff going on.
Oh, well, I don't want to talk about that yet. It's not. It's not ready yet. Until
Word on
now,
the
I want to
street, you
announce
got a
nothing.
couple of
I
condominiums.
Streets already talking.
Yeah, you got a couple of condominiums out there.
don't have nothing going on.
You
I'm
ain't
just.
got a mansion?
I don't have a mansion.
What? Oh, okay.
Ain't what they saying.
That's not what they say.
Ain't what they saying. They saying something different.
Yeah. So what do you have, Mr. Charlie?
I don't have nothing. I'm just a regular guy. God has everything, and He provides me a place to stay and go where I can go and sleep where I can sleep at.
And that place
what I'm
to stay.
talking
And if you
go
don't,
swimming?
and if you don't invite me, to your house, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, because you can go to your house and play ball.
Right. But
Yeah.
I like to be around other people because I invite a lot of people to different things, but they don't come. If you don't do any, come and support of film arts stuff that's free, you know, and things that can help people. Not really free, I'll say, but it's a way that I do things, and I don't want to reveal it because I don't want anybody to take my angle, and then I'm not really ready to push it because I'm going through my foot healing still, and
How's that going?
yeah, so I can't really run around but so much and do things so like I want to. So once I put it out there, I'm going to be really moving around, you know, and then at the same time I'm going to be recording. I'm going to do everything that I felt because I was in the damp. That's why I was like producing music when I was down. Remember I was producing the tracks, but I have like about 300-400 tracks. I don't even like people here. Like I could put stuff on there all day. But I heard people trying to go my way and wave with stuff. Not homies that's friends of mine, but just outside of that, then they would friend me. I would hear certain. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna put nothing. I don't want anybody to understand my. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you sent me some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you sent me some.
But I retouched everything.
Oh, you
That
did?
was that was just the beginning phases. I go through phases of touching my music. So like you'll hear one version, and I have like 2 other versions that I touch after that. And then all I do is delete, click off certain tracks so you can hear it. And then you're like, wow, that's a whole different version. And I put that, you're like, wow, that's a whole different you know the fun in that.
I don't know much about music.
What?
I wouldn't get in the music business.
Oh, I love music, man.
If I was getting paid by the second.
I love music. I started
I
playing
hear so many
the
horror stories.
I was playing the piano, and I never even expressed that in elementary school.
Wow.
I was ashamed to let people know that I had piano lessons. You know, as a kid, you know, you fight and stuff, you
That's
cool.
how I was with comedy, though. When I was in high school coming up, I didn't want nobody to know I was writing jokes and being funny.
For real?
My Aunt Belle,
My family was in the street.
my
So
Aunt
they-
Belle.
Oh,
Wasn't-
yeah,
wasn't
you
a whole lot
can't-
of laughter. Oh, you want me funny? Laugh at this.
And my Aunt Belle, rest in peace. You know, when I would go over her house, her and my Aunt Gwen, they had me on that piano. You know, my Aunt Belle used to play it, and I used to love watching her play. I said, I love you, Aunt Belle. She played that piano, you know, and I like stuff like that. You know, then in my grandma's house, she had a piano. I would play over there, you know, and you know, and so I you know, then I like, as far as producing wise, like certain guys like Dr. Dre. I used to like his stuff because of that piano.
Is that where your love of music started?
No.
Watching your aunt play the piano?
Well, not really. Nah, the love of the music started, I think, just listening to hip hop. You know, Sugar Hill Gang and all that, like back in the day. And, you know, they was 70s, but you know, even though I grew up in the 80s, even though I came from the 70s.
Right.
You know how the music was back then. It was just,
it was new.
and it was just, it was
something different.
it was new. It was different. It just had a feel, a embodiment to it. You know what I mean? Like,
And it felt like it was ours.
yeah, it did.
It's something that we did.
Right,
You know?
together. You felt like you was a part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whether it was rapping or
Yeah, you felt like you was a
dancing,
part of that.
It was art.
That's right.
And I explained that to my son one day. I said, you guys have something that is yours called social media. Well, we have something that is ours and everybody's living it now. It's called hip hop. We invented that.
That's right.
That's ours.
That's
We invented
ours.
that.
That's right.
And it went from music and things that you did after school to a whole way of life.
That's right.
So you got a whole generation of just hip hop.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So that's ours.
We have come a long way in the music industry. You know, it's kind of interesting listening to where I grew up, where, as you know, us old folks would say, you know, our songs had meanings and some sort of substance behind it. And everybody's just throwing something together. I'm gonna ask you this, Mr. Charles. I asked before, Charlie. I asked before. I asked before. A lot of these artists are making songs that, I get it, about their neighborhood, where they grew up, what they see, what their surroundings are. Some of them just throw stuff together. Do you think that these artists are responsible for what our younger generations are hearing? Because, quote unquote, depending on the person, our youth are reacting to what they hear and what they see, so they pretty much mimic them.
Yeah, I call it the meme, the clone. It's a clone phase. It's like Black Thought said. You know, it's clones. You know, you clones. You gotta look at them. You know, what they do. You know, all that type of stuff. I mean, me myself, anybody tell you like Charlie never smoke no marijuana. Now my eyes are bad. You'll catch me smoking some. I'm serious, like, cause I'm not gonna announce my age, but I'm up there now. You know what I mean? And
We ain't kids no more.
Yeah.
nah, I have to do it. Like, I have to do it. Like, I have glaucoma. You know what I mean? I have to smoke it. If I don't, then like I can see a little bit right now, but I definitely need my glasses on.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I have to smoke it. Like I don't even like the way it burns my throat. You know what I mean? It's just certain things I don't like about it, but I'd rather do that than get an operation because it's my nerves that's getting operated on. Everybody say, well, it don't this and that, but I just feel like I just don't want an operation on my eyes. I just don't want it. You know what I mean? I can't sit.
Right.
I can't sit 4 months, and I can't. I just did like 9 months of sitting. You know what I mean? For my toe injury. I just can't. I have things to do. I'd rather just smoke the weed when I need to and leave it be and take my drops.
Now, I had you on, Craig, before, with a couple other artists. So I'm gonna ask the same thing.
But the kids, but the kids pop perks and do all that stuff. They hear it from the songs. That's why Meek stopped it, because he realized the influence he was having on people.
Here's my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop, rap, the origin of it was street, right? Message and all that stuff. We rap
Flyness,
kids
and party.
rap about flyness, all of that. Kids rap about what they want to rap about, and they do what they want. Singers sing about love all for centuries. It's the same concept. It's just that people do what they want to do. You can't. I don't like when people blame music for their actions, because there's songs out here saying. Tupac had a song called "Keep Your Head Up," as well as "I Get Around." So people do what they want to do, how they want to do it. It has nothing to do with the music. You can't blame the artist for the way society behaves. People,
No, we can't.
People sing about love songs all day long, and they don't make nobody go out and fall in love and stay with their woman and or treat their lady better.
That's true. But let me tell you, but the whole thing is that
He just said he was gonna leave the candy alone, right? He just said it.
And his hand is easing.
I heard it.
I don't even know why he slid it over.
I don't know.
the
Just
camera the camera ain't on me.
Just put it back over there.
Yeah, just
Ain't no camera on me. See me easy for no camera.
Man, go ahead,
I don't
just
know
go
why
ahead,
not.
Just go ahead and take all of it.
You
It's
can see
yours.
me doing that on the camera.
It's for you, right there. Who you think he's
Oh
looking at?
man. Oh man, I'm
It's
sorry.
for you.
he started trying. But here's the thing: we can see you.
Yeah, he trying to sneak candy
But
in
we
front of us.
looking at you.
We looking at like you know damn well.
I mean, really, the reality is it of this. I mean, let's take a look. We can't really say that because in the era of the hip hop music, when Kane and everybody and PEACE, people were killing each other and all, but it wasn't as rampant. When
Well, it wasn't as rampant, but Here's the thing. Philadelphia's body count, just in Philly, the highest body count was back in 1990. Wasn't recent. And they were all called drug related. Back in the day, we knew why people were getting killed. Now it's just senseless.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Right.
You don't even hear the term. You don't even hear the term drug related anymore.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's just senseless. They
Right.
shoot now because for anything.
Anything.
Right.
But we came up, and we're all the same age. We
Right.
came up with people that schooled us. What I believe is a part of it is our generation didn't school these young bulls on how to do what they do, and they're just emotional. So they think
Right.
it's okay to pop off. I blame them. If you're gonna blame something, I put it more on Grand Theft Auto than I do hip hop. Because when you're a little boy and your
playing
dad's
games
not
and
there,
stuff, yeah.
and your mom sits you in front of the TV and say, "Put that on while I
Right.
cook. Watch this while I do this. Watch this while I do that."
Well, I
And
don't
everybody-
blame hip hop. Like what I'm saying is,
Yeah, like
I'm not blaming hip hop, but what I'm blaming is the people that don't understand the correlation of entertainment and
And
reality.
reality.
And that's it.
but that's my point. You shouldn't have to change. Meek shouldn't have to stop rapping about what he rapping.
No,
His reality.
But his reality was he was really messed up on him.
Okay.
So he spoke about
And he
it
should
and let
talk
him
about
know that it's not right.
He
A lot
should
of
talk
kids
about it.
realize, look, he's right. Why? Because he's getting money and he's realizing I'm spending a lot of money, I'm wasting a lot of money.
But
I'm
these
going-
are our youth
but-
that are looking up
but
to
guess who's
these
getting
people
more
who are
money
talking
than-
about. Even though I may be, I live around violence. Now I have somebody that's actually talking about. They're exploiting it, making money off of it.
But they've been
Or-
doing it.
I get it, but what happens is
They do it in Hollywood?
you're not seeing your young teenagers running around singing about violence until they actually. But they're more likely are imitating the rappers than they are just. So they're imitating. You know,
Because
and
it's
they- and they-
accepted. It's
right,
accepted.
it's accepted, but they literally blocking and the
Right.
fingers and stuff.
But that's why I love Drake. When Drake came out, he was different. He
Right.
wasn't talking about gang banging and shooting and hustling and dope. He was on something smooth. He was singing in his raps. You see what I'm saying? Whether he wrote them or not is besides the point. But he was a different. He was different. He went
Right.
against the flow. But it's room for everybody there.
Right.
If you're gonna censor the rap music, you have to censor Martin Scorsese as well.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
Of course, it all
because
goes in.
Music, you have to really play with your mind's eye to see it. In a movie, it can show you.
Well, hold on now.
You know
What-
what I mean?
what-
Trump
hold on.
even said that he
But-
came out. Not that I like Trump, but he even said that these Hollywood. He came after Hollywood, which we already know for years, promoting violence on top of violence on
Right,
top
right.
of violence, which is why the guy goes into the movie theater with the AK-47, opens up fire
Yeah.
because I
Right.
seen it in the movie.
Right.
Hobbs and Shaw killed a lot of people.
Right. But
And
hold
that was
on.
number one on the movies.
Right, but check this out
weekend.
though. Also, you have to understand the demographics you're serving. So, who, you know, like between sociopath killers and what they call them serial killers and racist killings and these killings, you know, people don't generally say, okay, the highest ratio of killings came from here, and then this was that. It's not. It's a chart out there,
Right.
but we had to analyze that and look at it, and then we had to. Everybody who's, you know which communities have what going on in it the most, and that's how you know.
But see, they put out there that we have more killings, is black on black crime, and this, that, and the third. Black people are only 13% of this country, so we don't do anything more than white people. If we killing ourselves, they killing themselves at a higher rate. But they report on us because they control
Media.
The
exactly.
media.
So, but her question was, is the rap or the content of the music affecting these kids?
No,
And
no.
it's I don't think
It does, but
I have two
it has
sons.
it has anything that advertises anything has an effect on
true.
the human. I don't care what
agree.
you say.
I agree, 100%.
If that's the case, we wouldn't have commercials.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have,
Exactly, 'cause
but the agenda of it, was this the real agenda of the artist itself? Do they really understand that this is what you're pushing? When I rap, people don't understand. Like my music, it tells a story and it has a message in it.
Yes, you're telling
Every
your story.
track
Yes.
has a story and a message in it, whether you like it or not.
It's your reality, though. So you shouldn't have to change your reality because some kid may hear your reality and say, hey, I want to do that. Because what happened to the parents? I have 2 sons that I listen and I listen to all eras of gangster music. I listen to trap music now, and I listen to America Most Wanted with Ice Cube.
Right.
My sons hear it all. But my sons are nerds. Why? Because I'm a full-time parent, and I parent my children.
Right.
I make sure I control as much as I can of what comes in as opposed to what goes out.
Right.
We shut down the TV. We shut down the cell phones. We read books. We study.
Right.
We do all those things. And you got to parent your kid. You can't blame entertainment
For everything.
you can't hold entertainment accountable for raising your child.
Right.
You can't. My oldest son watches TV, listens to music, and does all of the things that he does with the audio on a computer that he built.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest son is is in the top 5 safeties in the state of Pennsylvania.
Beautiful.
He's 16 years old. So, and trust me, me and my wife, we way different than our kids.
So
our kids is the nerds.
The word you said? Your what?
Wife.
Wife.
Yeah. 25
But
years.
I
What
think I think what happens is
Wife
You have
site?
to parent your kids, man.
I don't think that's just me.
The parent.
I don't think that anything you see or hear affects us. It's those that who already have mental illnesses. It's already something already there that hasn't been touched. Meaning like they already have depression or schizophrenia or whatever. They already have that. It's just that once they seen or touched that, it was like it triggered it. And then this is where it comes from. That's just my personal belief. I don't think I can put a normal child in front of a television watching violence all day and they want to go out and mimic that versus someone who has mental illness. But the things we don't know who has mental illness until it evolves.
I agree with half of that. I don't throw the mental illness word around too much because you can't take a normal kid and put him in front of a television and he do the same stuff if he's not taught that those are not the emotions that you act on.
Right.
It's just TV.
Right or wrong.
Yes.
Right.
You have to teach that. You have to let them know, that is a movie. That is not
Right.
real. You cannot walk out the house and do that. Right. That's why I always say, I'm saying parenting. It comes down to the parent. You can't sit your kid in front of, because kids, okay, your son see that on the TV. You show him Scarface, or you show him a movie. Now he has questions. Mm-hmm. And if you're not there to answer those questions, he's left to his own imagination. He's going to answer them himself.
Right.
And he's going to, 9 times out of 10, he's going to come up with the wrong answer because they don't know their children. That's why they are to be taught. That's why you have to parent your kids.
Right.
You don't know what those kids would do in a under a different circumstance if you put the information in there. Let
me say this too. Growing up, like my dad, he had businesses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Say that again, like who?
My dad had businesses.
Say that again, like who?
Growing up,
like who?
Growing up, like in the hood.
Yeah, but who you talking about right now? Your dad.
Yeah.
A lot of these dudes can't say that.
Yeah.
A lot of these young boys have their mom, and that's it.
Right, but
their mom or grandma.
Right. But check it out though. The thing is, what I'm trying to say is that if you didn't have your dad, and this is the sad part. In the hood, you had certain old heads that they had their businesses. No one was teaching you carpentry.
Right.
No one said, "Let me grab this young boy and show him how to do this," because I want to get all this money the rest of my life and take care of just my family and I can do it myself. That's how it was. Now, that everything went this way because everybody was hustling and doing stuff. And we see what the old heads weren't doing. That's why everybody started the mentoring.
Yeah.
Taking people underneath our wings and sponsoring and all that and teaching them. And that's why the education system now is doing stuff, with the programs, and they're getting certifications and That's why. Plus, not just that, because they took it all out the schools.
Right.
So they had to do it. You know what I mean? You can't take all this away and then don't have programs for the kids.
Yeah, leave me with nothing. Yeah.
So they downsized the schools, cut them down, shut them down, getting everything property-wise, people, place to live, and you know. But I still think there's more room for development.
There's always room for development.
And I
you just gotta find people that want to do the work.
There you go. But at the same time, just like welfare to work, they can even give guys a stipend for money to make sure they clean up the blocks a certain amount of radius. I don't care if it's 10 miles. You had to work. You know what I mean? A day. You know what I'm saying? You could do that in 8 hours a day, cleaning up 10 miles, walk 10 miles. And my thing is, take all the plastic bottles, all type of stuff you see on the street, pick it up, put it in the bags. Certain people have different things they got to do. And it has to be spotless. Somebody ride by and see it, it has to look like only that one was there because somebody might just do it there. It can't look like, I mean, it's a lot of money, man. Recycling.
It's money, it's jobs. It's jobs out here.
Man.
I work for the city. I work outside all day long. And
they need to just have a miscellaneous truck that goes around for trash, and they just see stuff, they just pick it up and recycle it. If it's with this wood, they throw it to wood compost. If it's, you know what I mean?
I told this young boy, we was on the corner, I was on Wing and Hockin, and he asked me, it was about 20 dudes out there, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. And he asked me, he was like, OJ, let me ask you a question. What you doing? I told him what I was doing. He said, y'all hiring? I said, yeah. Showed him what website to go to. At the time, you had to pay. So I gave him $35. I said, go get a money order. You're going to have to pay for the application.
Right.
I gave him my cell number. And stuck with me. I said, keep up. When you turn this in, let me know what you put on the app. I filled the app out with him, and he worked for the city to this day. And he got a record.
Well, guess what?
A lot of cats don't believe that they can get a job.
You got 5 to 10 years out here clean, you can get that joint expired.
But what I'm saying is, where I work for the city, they'll hire you if you've done state time. They don't care as long as you don't lie on your app. But there's a lot of young boys out here who don't think they can get a decent job because of their record, so they don't even try.
Well, your record expunged, you can say
you don't need it expunged to work where I work.
No, but I'm saying, like no arrest, because it's expunged, like no arrest. That's what it's for. You know what I mean? No biasing.
So moving forward,
yeah,
what's coming up next for you, Mr.
Charlie?
Well, right now, it's really about family business. Shout out to Devin. He's doing a wonderful job with buying homes and stuff like that, renovating them and fixing them. All our family, like our family's in connection and connected to my family. We're trying to do our thing, and this is basically it. Foundating and kids, and the families, and everybody's families are trying to do similar things, but like I said, what I give in essence of what I'm trying to do for the community with the arts is one thing, but what's going to be done anyway has no bearing of if this pops off or not, because I'm always going to eat. This is what people understand. But if you want to work on a project or something like that, you have a script, you have a couple of dollars, you don't have a couple of dollars, you want to know how we can get it going. You have to sign the contract, get down with Film Arts, and then we'll walk it through. That's just how it goes. No money involved.
So you teach people how to make films?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So how do they get in contact with you? Because a lot of people that want to.
There's different components to Film Arts, though. So you learn a lot of different things. You'll feel it after I teach you the whole gamut of what's what, and then you'll pick out what you like to do.
Okay.
And then from there, and I have people that's in that field that do just that. And they'll come over and they'll work with you at a certain time, and I'll let you know when to come back and we'll do this. And then, some of them just might be editing, so I'll let you come and you learn this component, So, I mean, like, I've done certain pieces where I've taught people, and I'll show people, like, I re-edit footages of small movies, like, 12-minute movies, stuff like that. Cut it down to 9, but I would leave it a certain way so people can see it, and then when I touch it again, they can see it. They're like, oh, okay. Like, just to get people to understand, like, it's phases to stuff that you do things, and I'm not really putting no finished product out there for people to see. Everything is a learning experience when I have people look so they can see how good I shoot, how well my sound is. One thing might be sound, one might be lighting. Some stuff might have encompassed all of those things, Some might encompass sound effect, whatever,
Okay.
But a few pieces encompass all of that, Then I'll use the same camera and say, can you tell the difference of the way the camera looks? As far as when you're looking from one aspect to the other aspect with the same camera, can you tell it's the same camera? This is the same camera. So one might look like it's an older look, but it's how I do the aperture.
Okay.
And then the other one looks like it's a more modern look,
Okay.
But it's all in how you do the camera. It's all in how you doing your lighting. It's all in your aperture, and it's all in your costuming. So it gives off a different effect. It's all in your camera angles, why you do certain things for certain movies. And people don't believe that, but I can shoot with a VHS camera and give you a great quality. It doesn't matter what camera I shoot with, as long as it comes out good,
Right.
And once people get out of that, I got that, all that, I'm
The
like,
popular
man,
stuff.
yeah, like so okay, if he does, I do a watercolor and it looks just as good as the oil painting, because the oil paintings, is it better than the watercolor? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
It's just a different grade. It's the different medium camera that you're using. So I try to get people to understand that.
So how do they get in contact with you? You want to sign up to your film arts?
267. What is it? 267. 258. Well, go to Film Arts Facebook, and the number should be on there. I forgot the number right now. But
Social media?
I don't call the numbers. I just put it out there. 7417-267-258-7417 for Film Arts, and anything LSD Studios, you can leave the same message on that line. And
IG.
it's PHILMARTS 215. That's it. Just Facebook. I like Facebook. I don't like IG because IG is not really my preference. I don't care what everybody else does. You know what I mean? I like Facebook more. I like to go to see IG for the pictures that's be on there. You know what I mean, bro?
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming out here, Mr. Craig.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still sticking around for our
Oh
next
yeah,
guest,
shout out to
David.
Council Contractors too.
Dope.
Council Contractors. My nephew Ace is running the company. He's doing a beautiful job. Shout out to Council Contractors. We have a family construction business that's doing well. So
Anything else?
yeah,
Any more?
reconstruction, redevelopment, and development, construction, housing.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, at the last minute. Never had him on. Never had him on.
Well, we had to do it again.
Yeah, we gotta do it again. Yeah, we definitely
Do it again.
Yeah, we
Hell yeah.
definitely gotta do it again. But I'm going to take a pause for the cause, and we get ready to put on some music, and we'll be right back.